everyone, welcome back, or welcome if it is your first time here in the butterfly family. It's lovely to see you today. Me and Mr. Twig are so excited to spend some time with you today, just talking about Samhain and what it means to me, and I forgot what I was trying to say. Now, usually at the end of the month I share a book review, and at the moment we are working on the Psychic Handbook. But today I just felt really called to come and just have a little chat with you instead, so I hope that's okay. Samhain is the end of the witch's year. It is a time of transformation, and it's a really beautiful time of year, and it's actually my favourite time of the year, and I know a lot of people feel exactly the same way as I do about autumn and Samhain just being such a magical and wonderful time of year. And so I just really wanted to come and chat about what it means to me and how I feel about Samhain. So I've got all my lights on, it's evening time, so get cozy, grab that cuppa. So for me personally, Samhain is all about transformation, and I've just found out that I'm in full menopause at the moment, which is so much fun, and I just really feel like there's so much transformation, so much change happening in my life, that it being Samhain really feels like it's meant to be in a way. Going through all this at the moment, it just feels right to me. I love the fact that I can reflect both on my life and also the year thus far. And I think this year it just feels especially important because we lost our dog Dexter, and I did a craft recently, like a little memorial for our two dogs in a vlog. I'll leave a link to that down below if you'd like to see me doing that. But we also sadly lost my mother-in-law this year, and so that connection with the ancestors, that connection with death and transformation and passing through to a new time of life, it just really feels right. And so I just felt really called to just come and sit and have a little cozy chat with you all about how I'm feeling. I do have my notes on my phone because I just felt like I needed something to help me stay making sense and not going off on a million tangents. I mean, if ever you get to talk to me in real life, I do go off on a million tangents, so I have to kind of try and ground myself. Since last Samhain, I've definitely accepted that the way I want to practice my craft isn't actually always the right for me as a disabled witch, as somebody who rarely leaves the house, as someone who doesn't have as much of a chance to practice ritual, ceremonial witchcraft, which is something that we all really want, isn't it? We love that idea of having a million candles lit and burning things with magical fire and all that kind of thing. But being in my own reality, I have to be like, you know what? Sometimes I've got to let go of that kind of magical, whimsical side of me and move away from that witch aesthetic that we all have in our heads, and instead live in the reality of where we are and where I am in my craft and where I am in life. So I've really started to shed a lot of those assumptions, those thoughts, those feelings, and started stepping into the reality that I want to encompass in my personal life. Letting go can be so hard. It can be hard to let go of the dreams that we've had, the things that we've wanted to do over the year. I know for me personally, I've always wanted to do a photo shoot, but I was speaking to one of my best friends, Kirsty, and she was looking into pumpkin patches. They're not very accessible, and so it was you know what, in reality this is not something that I personally can actually physically do. I might be able to if I lived in a less of a rural place, but I don't know, there's nowhere near us that is very accessible that I can just go and wander around by pumpkins. And when I actually look at these photo shoots that look incredible, The rows of pumpkins are very close together, so how would I get my walker through? How could I actually pose? How could I do that? Letting go of these expectations that we have, these things, these dreams that we want to do in life, and looking at the reality of being disabled. Those two things, sometimes they have to change, and I think that compromise between that whimsical, fantastical mind that we all have and the reality of living in this dimension, they have to kind of compromise with one another, and I have to compromise with that. And I think letting go has been really, really important for me personally. I've also found, you know, things like I always wanted to have children, and that has never really been a thing that has happened for us, and that's been really sad and something that I've really struggled with, especially since finding out I'm in full menopause. That's a dream, that's a door that's definitely closed now, and that's something that's been really, really hard to deal with as well. I think sometimes accepting yourself how you are and who you are and for who you are has been so important for me personally, and knowing that so many of us are getting older. I know when I look at my you can like go into behind the scenes as a YouTuber. You can go behind there and look at things like age ranges of the people who are watching your video, things like that. And knowing the age groups of the people that are watching my videos, many of us probably are going through the menopause. And you know what? We might be going through a lot of this kind of shedding and letting go of things and moving forwards in a more grounded way, and finding witchcraft that is really going to serve us as we move through this transitional period really connects to all the themes of Samhain, and that is something that is so beautiful when you think about it, and something that I really want to step into this season. I'm going to be doing a lot more of on my weekly vlogs, so make sure you subscribe, hit the subscribe button. But yeah, if you watch my But if you watch my Monday videos, then you will see more of my like actual witchcraft daily craft, and a lot of it is more self-care, mental health based. And I think accepting who we are, accepting where we are on our journey is something that can be so hard. But if we can connect our life and where we are in our life journey and what's happening with our health and all of that kind of thing with the themes and the rituals of Samhain, we can really find this beautiful merging of witchcraft in our lives. That is where the real beauty and the real magic can happen. Things like journaling, things like doing releasing rituals like cord cutting and burning letters to your past self, and writing lists of things that you want to let go of, and performing some kind of releasing ritual around that can be really beautiful. I find myself wanting to find more and more ways of just incorporating those little rituals into my daily life. Like, could I create a sigil that I could then draw in the foam on my latte drink or in my bath water? Things like this, the impermanence of bubbles and how we can let go using those things. It can be really, really beautiful, really simple, and something that is accessible to more of us. As I move forward into the darker half of the year, I really often think about hibernation and that kind of hearth witchcraft, that kind of stepping into a more hibernated version of myself. I have often in my life wished I was a little bear curled up in a little burrow somewhere, having a nap for 6 months. Wow, that sounds really nice actually. The winter season, stillness, rest, self-care, thinking of connecting more with our dreams, more with liminal spaces, and that again connects to Samhain. Thinking about renewal, stepping into 2026 with a better view of what we want to achieve in the coming year, in the coming parts of our lives, and how we can make our witchcraft more of part of our lives, make it more accessible to us. But our quiet, small magic that is performed in more of a gentle manner is just as magical and just as important in the world as these big rituals. I don't want anybody to feel like they are less than a different witch just because they are unable to do something in the same way that they do it. So if you are doing a ritual online, if you are using an app on your phone to choose your tarot cards, etc., you're just as valid as somebody who has all the herbs and all the spices and all the things, and they're able to do all this magic at an altar with their special cloaks on and their rituals that take so much time and energy to set up. I think letting go of those assumptions that one type of witch or one style of magic is better than another, that is another thing that I want to let go of and throw in the bin, because we are all valid. I want us all to find real comfort in the transformation and the rest and the self-care that can be taken in the dark half of the year. Connecting with gods and goddesses that are connected to these dark times, using the time to journal or to do rituals that are more based in the things that we need for our health and our mental health is just a beautiful thing, and something that I'm definitely wanting to do. I'm also wanting to do more crafting. I know, is that even possible? But I definitely want to teach myself how to embroider, get back to crocheting and things like that. Just really taking the dark half of the year to really step into magic that is more cozy. I think that's what we all need, right? When we can't be out in the garden so much, when we can't get out to walk so much, we need to really take that time and use it as an opportunity instead of thinking of it as a time that we dread. Because I know that the winter is hard for many of us. It's hard for me. I really struggle with Christmas time. My mental health really goes in the tanker a lot of the time. And I really want to take this time to, instead of think of, oh, this is my favourite time of the year and then I've got Christmas, you know, I really want to foster good things and traditions that are going to help me to really embrace the dark half of the year instead of dreading it. And I hope that you will be able to do that too. As this wheel turns, as we step into a new part of the year, a new season, as the clocks go back or forwards, depending on where you live, I really want us to embrace that. I really hope and wish for everybody in the butterfly family to find what works for you, to find that coziness, that safety, that witchcraft that can really bring magic and sparkles to every day, whether we've got enough spoons to get us through the day or whether we're spending the day in bed. And I just hope that we all can step into Samhain with this really good mindset of just releasing, letting go, transforming, and calling upon our ancestors to really support us as we move into the dark half of the year. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed brain dumping all these thoughts and feelings out into the YouTubeverse. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you can like, comment, hype it up, drop a subscribe. All these things are magical and they are free and they help me to know and the YouTubeverse to know that you enjoyed the video, and it will share it out just that little bit more. Take care everyone. Never forget, you are loved, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.